How did Jaxon Dart go from no Division I offers going into his senior season to one of the top quarterbacks in college football? Dart grew up in Kaysville, Utah, and came from an athletic background. His father played college football at the University of Utah, where he was a safety. From an early age, you could tell Dart was an athlete. He excelled in both football and baseball, and his father initially encouraged him to play defense and try his hand at safety. However, Dart's natural arm talent quickly became apparent, leading him to focus on the quarterback position. By the time he reached junior high, he made a firm decision to pursue quarterback as his primary focus. This led him to Roy High School, where he immediately made an impact. His freshman year, he outperformed a senior transfer student to secure the starting role. This set the stage for an exceptional high school career. He held the starting quarterback position for 3 consecutive years. However, despite his success, he found himself in a challenging position. As he approached his senior year, he had no Power 5 offers, with his best prospect being a gray shirt from BYU, meaning the first year he would have no scholarship and would receive one his second year. The lack of attention from major college universities even led Dart to consider the possibility of pursuing college baseball, a sport that he went all-state in twice. However, he decided to stick to football, and he realized he had one summer left to elevate his game. He made the bold decision to transfer to Corner Canyon High School for his senior year, and this move was accompanied by an intense focus on improving his skills during the summer. Dart began working out with renowned trainer Taylor Kelly at the 3D Quarterbacks Academy. This training program provided Dart with the invaluable opportunity to work alongside some of the best quarterbacks in the nation. This program didn't provide Dart just training, it also gave him the invaluable opportunity to work alongside some of the nation's top recruits, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and Miller Moss. This was eye-opening for both Dart and his trainer, as they quickly realized his skills were right there with these highly touted prospects. This reinforced his belief that he had potential to compete at the Power 5 level. As he entered his senior season, several factors aligned in his favor. Corner Canyon's offense was significantly more pass-heavy than what he had experienced at Roy, allowing him to showcase his arm talent more effectively. Additionally, the COVID-19 pandemic was causing disruptions to high school football seasons across the country. Utah's early start, however, ensured that Dart would have a full season to demonstrate his skills. This increased visibility due to many programs not playing helped as well. ESPN even televised one of Dart's games, and in this moment, he had a stellar performance. Over 275 yards and 6 touchdowns, while also rushing for 130. This catapulted Dart from relatively obscurity into the national recruiting conversation. By September, he had been receiving offers from Power 5. His stock kept rising, and by mid-October, he was a 4-star, ranked among the top 20 quarterbacks in the nation. This remarkable turnaround came full circle in December when he committed to play for USC. Dart's senior stats were nothing short of extraordinary as well. 4,691 passing yards, threw for 67 touchdowns, with another 1,195 rushing yards and 12 touchdowns on the ground. This play was instrumental in leading Corner Canyon to a 14-0 record, and all of this didn't go unnoticed as he won Gatorade Player of the Year and Max Preps Player of the Year. While Dart was confident in his decision to commit to USC, the recruiting process was far from straightforward. The ongoing pandemic made it where he couldn't visit campuses, forcing him to make decisions based on Zoom calls. Additionally, Dart had to accelerate his academic schedule to graduate early so he could early enroll. Complicating matters further was the fact that USC, like many other programs, already had quarterback commits so late in the recruiting cycle, with Miller Moss and Jake Garcia already in the fold in Southern California. Despite these challenges, Dart remained undeterred. His decision to commit to USC was largely influenced by the strong connection he felt with head coach Clay Helton. Dart's competitive nature embraced the challenge of competing for playing time while viewing it as an opportunity to prove himself. Dart's tenure at USC began the right way. He impressed during preseason camp and secured the backup quarterback position. However, the team's early struggle led to Helton being fired, the coach he committed because of that relationship. And just the very next game after his dismissal, Dart found himself in the game when the starting quarterback was injured, and it was a roller coaster of emotion. 3 unsuccessful drives, interception, punt, and fumble. Not the start to a college career you would have liked, but he rebounded spectacularly, finishing the game with over 390 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. However, during the game, he suffered an MCL sprain and didn't even notice it due to the adrenaline. Following his injury, Dart needed to rehab and needed to do it quickly. He eventually reclaimed the starting position for the final 3 games of the season. And while the year had its ups and downs, Dart was definitely a strong spot and something USC could focus on next year to build off of. However, it took another unexpected turn. USC was bringing in Lincoln Riley as the new head coach, and he was bringing his own luggage. He was bringing a Lamborghini, his quarterback Caleb Williams, one of the top in the country. In an attempt to clarify his position, Dart tried to talk to Riley, but he felt these conversations to be vague and a lot of coach talk. He knew he needed to do what was best for him, and he entered the transfer portal, making a very tough decision, leaving behind so many connections he had formed at USC. Dart's second recruiting process was different from his first. Schools were interested, and they were interested early. After careful consideration, he chose to commit to Ole Miss over Oklahoma, citing the honesty of the coaching staff and built genuine connections with Lane Kiffin. Since joining Ole Miss, Dart has been the starter, and his first season was highly successful, an 11-2 record with some standout performances, which has elevated expectations to even new heights this season. As he enters this upcoming season, Dart finds himself in conversation for the Heisman Trophy, and through a few games, Ole Miss is positioned as a potential contender for the college football playoff.